Malawian boy.
Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. Good evening to you all. I just came from work, but I scheduled a review of the game, or a reaction, as you can say, of the game that happened between Man City and Sevilla. Welcome, guys. So Man City beat Sevilla 3-1. I'm going to try break down the game from the first half, second half, and also talk about the stars of the game, and also talk about the players that need to impress going forward. And also, we've got a bit of good news at the end. So stay to the end. Got a bit of good news. Welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome to the channel. Drop a like. Let's just read from the comments here. Yes, guys. Our academy is so becoming a benchmark. Progress is clear to see. That is true, McLovin. It was an amazing day yesterday to see. Amazing. Quite disappointing to see a team like Sevilla deciding to not uh, play football against a Man City side that has got changes. Very shocking. Anyway, therefore, so Man City beat Sevilla 3-1. Sevilla scored first. Well, let's start off with the first half. To be honest with you guys, during the first half, not a lot was happening. Man City were trying. Sevilla were sitting back. They had about like 11 or 10 men in their box. They were not really looking to play, which was a bit embarrassing, to be honest. No offense to Sevilla fans. Or the team Sevilla, not disrespect to them, but I expected that if you see a lineup and the lineup doesn't have De Bruyne, doesn't have Bernardo Silva, or the lineup doesn't look as strong as the one you've played before. I know Man City beat Sevilla away 5-0. Maybe that was the reasoning behind it. But you come to the Etihad, and this is a nothing game. Obviously, you're not going to make it to the next round of 16, and you come to the Etihad, you still park the bus. I just felt that was a bit of a funny plan from Sevilla. But anyway, you never know. At this point in time, Man City is feared by a lot of teams. So maybe because as a City fan, I don't understand how other teams fear us, but it looks like teams truly fear us. So the first half, Sevilla, it wasn't a great game in the first half. I didn't enjoy it. Other people say they enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy the first half. I didn't like the fact that Pep again was trying to have two inverted fullbacks. I think that doesn't work. I think it left Gomez and Lewis a bit exposed, especially Gomez's side, where one of the players from Sevilla was very fast, strong, taller than him, and was getting the better of him every time the ball was played at the left hand side. So first half wasn't that great, and Sevilla were winning this game, by the way. Sevilla were winning the game. It's not like right away. I know it's a 3-1 game, but it's not like right away the game was all good. Sevilla actually scored on the 31st minute. It was Rafa. Rafa scored. That's the player who was on the left side with Gomez. Rafa scored in the 31st minute, and obviously for me, I didn't really care that much because we know it was a dead rubber. We've already qualified for the next round. In this particular game, to be honest with you, if you look at it, I'm going to share with you for a minute. Let me just take this off. If you look at this game in general, City were still dominating, no matter the fact that there were still players that were missing, or the fact that obviously we were not playing the first team. As I said, Rafa scored in the first 31 minutes. After 31 minutes, if you look at the stats, City had 21 shots, 7 on target. Shots on target, only 2 by Sevilla. One of them was a goal. The 7 shots were not really shots that were troubling. Possession 38. The passes were 418 for Sevilla, 658. Like, this was a dominated game. City were still dominating. Even first half, as we're not doing well. As I said, Sevilla have finished third. I think they're going to the Europa. Dortmund have finished second. Copenhagen have finished fourth in the group. Man City have finished first with 14 points. But as I said, it wasn't such an interesting game. That's what I'm saying. I was a bit disappointed after Sevilla saw this, because our right back was Lewis. Diaz and Laporte were the centre backs. Ortega was the keeper. Gomez. And if you see this team, Palmer was in midfield with Foden. Looking at this Sevilla team, look at them, man. There's people like Isco, Rakitic in this team, but they were still parking the bus. That's what I'm saying. Man City right now is feared by many. I think it's about time we Man City fans appreciate the fact that a lot of teams fear us. At the point, even if we change their team, teams are still scared of Man City. They still have to sit back. So for the first half, that was it. The first minute, Sevilla scored. obviously the most of us were saying, you know what, it's a dead game. Who cares? Even if Sevilla score, even if we end up drawing, Man City were playing very well. They're trying. Jack Grealish first half was playing very well. I'm going to talk about him. Jack was playing very well. Foden was playing very well. Gomez, I don't blame him for the goal. I think blame the whole defense. The senior players in that defense should have been helping the young players. But I think quiet in the room. Yeah, so basically, guys, the first half was a bit slow for me. And as I said, since Sevilla was not playing football, it wasn't very interesting. That's just for me. I didn't see it as anything interesting. Obviously, Sevilla get punished for the racist abuse on Nico Lewis. Yeah, they will. I see there's an investigation dark. Yeah, another thing, like, how can you start abusing, like throwing racist abuse towards a 17-year-old? Like, that's just not on. Some of this Spanish team, Doug, to be honest, with you, some of these Spanish teams, especially in Spain, this Spanish league, they have to be strict with this. Don't forget the Vinicius situation that happened recently. There's a lot of situations that happen in the Spanish league that are very racist. Even in Milan, I remember in Italy, there was a lot of racist stuff happening. I don't know, it still happens in 2022, but imagine verbally abusing or doing racist remarks towards a 17-year-old just was a scored against you. I hope something gets done to them. I hope they get banned or kick them out of the competition. Kick them out of the competition. I think be strict with racism. So first half was not that great, as I said. For me, it wasn't interesting. Riyad Mahrez did not perform well again. I know he scored. We're going to talk about the players in a few minutes. Second half, Pep decided to abandon the two fullbacks tucking into midfield. I think he also saw it wasn't working. He decided to bring in Rodri into midfield and Gundo. There were two holding midfielders. Gundo and Rodri were holding. Then he put Palmer as the number 10. Then he put the two fullbacks very wide for them to be able to attack and pin back Sevilla's fullback or overload, cause an overload. Because what was happening is with five at the back and with Riyad Mahrez and Guish tucking in all the time because they're embedded wingers, the five were easily defending them. There was no overloads. But when he put the wingers wide, it stretched the back line of Sevilla, opened opportunities for us, and that's how Nico Lewis was able to run into behind after that amazing pass by Alvarez, and he scored an amazing goal. Nico Lewis, what an amazing baller. So Pep actually fixed it. He saw that those inverted fullbacks in midfield is not working. He says it's a way to stop counters, but trust me, I have seen those inverted fullbacks against Newcastle, against Crystal Palace, against West Ham. We struggle with those inverted fullbacks. It gives an opportunity to the other team that as soon as they get the ball, they can play it to their forwards. So hopefully, he abandons this. Maybe he needs the right players. Maybe when Phillips is fit, he will be able to have two sitting DMs and maybe have a number 10 and then have two invented. I don't know. He has to find a solution for it because it's not working in the teams. So as I said, stars of the match. Stars of the match, I'll talk about Alvarez. Alvarez had two assists and one goal. First half, Alvarez was very quiet. He was doing runs, and none of the team members were picking him up. It reminds me on the first time when we saw Haaland in preseason, and when he was making runs and nobody was picking up Haaland's runs. But I think Alvarez is a baller, guys. Some people were busy talking stuff about Alvarez on Twitter. Come on, man. Come off it, man. This guy is a baller. This guy is a baller. Some City fans need to check themselves. Like they're busy saying, "Oh, he's not as great as he is." This is. I saw it on Twitter. I was like, "Are you serious? This guy hasn't had the same opportunities as Haaland. I know he's not Haaland, but he hasn't had opportunities to play with the first team like Haaland has. Like play with the full team. The only time I saw him play with the full team, it was the time of Nottingham Forest, and he backed two goals. So he got two assists in this game. He assisted Nico Lewis, and he also assisted Riyad Mahrez, who scored the last game. Obviously, Mahrez is not star of the match because he was struggling in this match. Grealish, why I put Grealish is as much as people were criticizing Jack, the thing about people I've noticed is everybody wants to look at stats when it comes to players. Yes, he's a 100 million player. We get it. But stats do not determine how good of a player Jack is and how he's playing. He's playing very well right now. Jack is one of the best players in the Man City team. It's just that he doesn't have goals and assists. Like, if you ask an honest Man City fan, Jack is actually playing very well for us. And Jack is holding on to that left wing side. He's holding it down very well. Him, Haaland and Foden, for me, I think that's the best front three we've had this season. Just my opinion. So Jack played very well. Pep said he subbed him off because of tactical reasons, and also he wants Jack to rest for Saturday. So Jack is confirmed that he's gonna start in that Fulham game. Guys, like the vid, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're on 1,184 subs. just weeks ago on 1,160. So we're getting there, guys. We're getting to that 1,200 mark. Very soon we'll get to that 5K. Okay, Rico Ruiz. This kid is 17 years old, and I saw a picture somewhere. Apparently, Benzema was the youngest 17-year-old to score in the Champions League. Now, Lewis is the youngest by months to score in the Champions League. This kid was amazing. I watched him. This is not the first time I've seen that he's amazing. I remember in the Sporting game, he came in and people cornered him, and he was able to dribble past that. Like, I understand why Pep, I think, is picking Lewis over most of the academy players. Don't forget, he was the captain at the age of 16 for the under 18s. This kid, I think, is very talented. This kid, I think, is one of the kids that's going to make it through because such talent like Lewis has, and somebody who's a Man City fan, and somebody who's from who's in the academy throughout, I think he deserves an opportunity to be in the first team. And it's amazing to see Palmer, Lewis, Gomez, who used to be a City fan, looking at Foden, who are coming through the academy and making to the team. It's a very big thing. Esbrand, Makati, if he comes back, all these guys, Lavia, all these guys, if they come back, it's amazing to see these kids make it. It also gives hope to kids out there that if you go to Man City, if you're good enough, you'll be able to make the first team. And Pep said in his press when people asked him that at City, it's not a gift. It doesn't mean just because you're a City fan, will gift you a start. You earn your start. So this kid has earned everybody's respect, and big up to him. I hope good things happen for him. Patrick, I get shocked when you say how City fans will get on Edison Alvarez or even Jack on Twitter. I don't have Twitter, and I'm never aware of such childish opinions. McLaren, there's a lot of childish opinions, but you have to understand that there's a lot of also trolls. I think so. I think majority of them are just people who troll and people who just go on Twitter to get attention. The amount of people who are saying bad things about Alvarez in the first half, amount of people who have been saying bad things about Edison, amount of people who say bad things about players. I remember Gundogan when he was getting abused back in the days that he's very slow or he's not that great. Then the same people started twerking for him as soon as he started carrying the team. So never trust these people. It's good you're not on Twitter. Twitter is a very toxic place. Some people think just because they're on Twitter, they can be able to abuse people or say things about other people. That's how it is on Twitter. And the only issue is that because Twitter never verifies anybody, they hide behind AVs that are not their faces, so nobody knows who they are. So they have the strength behind the keyboard to say a lot of useless and pathetic things towards others. It's what it is. It's social media anyway. So guys, let's move over to the players that need to impress. I have Cole Palmer. I know it's a bit unfair on Palmer because he was injured and he just came back. I just feel like watching him yesterday. I feel sorry for him a bit. I think we did a match reaction with Martin, Mancunian Way. Go and subscribe to the channel, amazing channel. Veta Games too, subscribe to the channel. Page Points, Carl, also go subscribe to his channel. We did a nice review, and we said Cole Palmer was put in midfield just to accommodate Mahrez, who's in bad form. Like, look, at the end of the day, I respect Pep because he's put in Mahrez because he knows Mahrez might help him maybe later on in a semi-final or final because he is a big game player. But Palmer so far hasn't been done much justice, to be honest. Because if you look at all his cameos, on a few cameos, he's actually played where he's supposed to play. Majority of the times, he's either put in midfield, put as a number 10, or he's put at the left to the left side. So Palmer, I think, needs to impress in the next game. I would like to see him in the. I'd like to see Cole Palmer in the game of the Chelsea game in the Carabao Cup. I like to see Cole Palmer. I like him to play as a winger, but I doubt we will because obviously Pep, as I can see, wants to make sure that Mahrez get back in form. So welcome, Don't Smoke and Cow. I was just you just missed. I was talking about the stars of the match. I said I picked Rico Ruiz, I picked Alvarez and Jack Grealish as the stars of the match yesterday. Is there
You,
any
you're
options?
missing.
What else do you have?
You're missing somebody. Then you're missing somebody.
Alvarez. Alvarez is there.
You're missing somebody.
Who am I missing exactly?
I'm missing Ortega.
Oh, Stefan.
Oh, yeah. You can say that. Yeah, he was
He was
impressive. He was
brilliant.
very
He
impressive.
was he was
Yeah, he
he was
was.
absolutely brilliant. No mistakes. He made no mistakes. The goal, nothing. The goal, there's nothing you can do about the goal. It was the fact
Even if you're two goalkeepers, that ball is going
no,
in.
no,
The
no one's
moment
stopping that
that
goal.
was well headed, man.
He was flawless. In fact, he made a couple of saves right in front of goal. He was flawless. He's much better than Stefan, and it's good competition for Edison. That's good.
Yeah. To add to your point, Carl, Stefan has this sense of calmness that he gives you. Uh, and I know that that's a bit harsh on Edison, right? But it could be that we when you're too used to something, you may begin to take it for granted, right? I think just having a better understudy, because the drop off from Edison to Stefan was so huge that w- we that anything you got normally you're gonna praise, but he doesn't have the passing range of an Edison, right? But the drop off is not huge, man. We still play from the back, very composed. There's some passes which he done yesterday, which you would think it's Edison on his right foot, like the one whereby when he gets pressed and he passes it to the DM on the ground with that high press, man. Uh, Ortega deserves to be there, man.
Okay, okay. Yeah, but anyway, so do any of you guys want to say anything on these guys, Luis Alvarez?
Alvarez was just magnificent yesterday. You know the thing I noticed about the game, and I was talking to Martin about this was, I've talked about this inverted winger stuff against a low block, Patrick. How many times have we talked about this? And once we got rid of that inverted winger, we took Jack Grealish out. We played a look.
Embedded fullbacks also, it's not working. That embedded fullbacks thing he keeps doing. The two of them
No, that
attacking
one,
him.
that one is okay. The problem is that you have inverted wingers with inverted fullbacks, so there's no width. That's the problem. You can do the inverted fullbacks if you have width on the outside, right? But we have Grealish inverting, Mahrez inverting into the middle, like it's a back five. Mahrez can't get the ball. The moment the game changes and you see, Foden on the left, and then you have Mahrez on the right, and it changes a little bit. There's more space. Kevin comes on and bang, Alvarez gives an assist. Alvarez gives a goal. It's
You, you
it's
know,
I don't know what. And
you,
even
you
Pep himself said it, that he changed it because he wanted the left on the left and the right on the right. That's what he wanted. He wanted that width, and the game changes.
to add to your point, watching the first half, I just felt shame for Alvarez in the sense that every time, most of the times when we've put him on, we haven't given him the proper tools to shine that we normally give to Haaland. And you saw it
Yeah,
with De Bruyne. At the
I said the
moment,
same
De
thing
Bruyne,
last time. Remember, I told you that
hmm,
I would love just for Pep to remove Haaland, just put Alvarez where the same team. You get it, John Smoke, as you're saying. Just
yeah,
remove Haaland, but he doesn't do that. He changes the whole system.
and you saw the difference of having a Bernardo and De Bruyne in midfield regarding intensity. It's just different. It's a different team, and they couldn't live with us, right? We could have scored more than 3 goals. The whole dynamics of the game changed, and just one pass. That's why De Bruyne is De Bruyne. Like, say whatever you want about KDB. One thing I like about one thing I admire about KDB, he can have a bad performance, but he'll always give you match defining moments. And that's signs of a big player, whereby I don't need to be at my best for me to make an impact. One pass changed the game. And regarding the moment Rico Lewis was overlapping, you saw his qualities. And I think I called it out on Sunday. Give this boy a full game. Let's see what he's all about. Same thing with Gomez. So we know where exactly he's at in his development. Rather than him coming in for 20 minutes and we're winning, you'll actually think, no, he's ready, but he's not ready. Like, just like Gomez. He came on again and we saw that defensively, he's not there yet, right? Had he not been given a full game, we'd still be saying, what if, what if? But now we know where he's
Yeah, what
at.
ifs? Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
And regarding Grealish done what Grealish does, which most people don't understand. He holds the ball, invites pressure, runs with it when he needs to, distributes. And for me, that's more important than goals. Because at the end of the day, this is a team sport. If out of your play, your teammates score, for me, that's as good as that's as good as having an assist.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's what I was saying, people. So look, what about here? What about here? These are the players that I think need to impress in the next game, if they get an opportunity. Do you think it's fair?
Patrick, what game is that? What game? What game do you want to play in?
I'm saying whatever appearance they get, they need to impress. Whatever next appearance they get, they have to do better.
Yeah,
Do you get what I mean?
I don't want to see this
Yeah,
guy
because at the end of the day, look,
against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. We should go full strength. Full strength. Best team. I mean, Haaland, Alvarez, Foden, De Bruyne, Bernardo, full strength. No messing around. Edison, everything, full strength. Just get through that round.
I would also add, I don't know what you guys think, but for me, Diaz doesn't give me the confidence whenever I see Diaz. I won't lie to you, right? In the sense that, and it's even early, I think early in the game, whereby he done this pass, nonchalant pass, as if, and then it turned into a counter attack. And I think now one of the reasons why Diaz is struggling is our opponents are actually targeting him because he's not the best on the ball. And if you actually realize that he's between him and Ake, you would pick who's the worst on the ball regarding. And most teams are now targeting him, and most people are seeing why is the drop off being seen on Diaz, and it's that thing whereby teams are actually pressing, they isolate him and press him.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about. I mean, they gave him man of the match yesterday, but like I've always said, in every team,
I think it should have been Alvarez.
In every team, there's always a builder
or
on the blocker,
always.
right? In every team, there's always a builder on the blocker. Everybody cannot be Laporte or Stones. You just can't have all that. You need to have. Even Company was not a good, really passer of the ball like that. He was more of a. For Otamendi was a better passer of the ball than Company was, right?
Yes.
Is that who did the dirty work? You mean like the one who
Yeah,
does the
one
dirty
who does
work?
the dirty work and one who does a build on the blocker.
Yeah, Gundo. So that for me, that is why I was actually impressed with Akanji, right? Because when Akanji came in, I thought it would just be a builder. But he's more. If you look at him, he's actually almost a hybrid, right? He's not scared to get a tackle in if you watch him, right? And he's got the pace. That is why I feel as if the blockers between the two, we'd have to decide who's our starting blocker between Akanji and Diaz to partner either Stones or Laporte or even Ake.
I agree with you. I agree.
Okay, cool. So anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to the breaking news. For the guys who haven't seen this yet, it's been posted on Instagram, City, Facebook, on Twitter just now. It looks like Akanji is back. Haaland is back. Phillips is back in training. Kyle Walker still not back. No words on Kyle Walker yet, but this is amazing. I think me and Kyle.
What did I tell you about Akanji? When people are panicking, what did I tell you? All the journalists were panicking.
They're saying he had a bit of a knock, but it wasn't serious. So they didn't want to just, like, in all fairness, if you have a knock, do you really have to be put in that Sevilla game? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really think you have to be put in that Sevilla game. Like, it's not worth risking a player, you know what I mean, of Akanji's importance, especially right now, as you guys are saying. But it looks like you were right. It was just a rest that he can come back, which is great, to be honest with you, because at this point in time, I know we're about to do the draw of the Champions League. We're gonna talk about the Champions League on Sunday, who are our potential opponents and who people want to avoid and who people want to come. Pep says he doesn't care. Anybody they give us, he's fine with it. But it's good to have Phillips back. I don't know about what do you think, Don Smoke. For me, it's more good news for Phillips.
Patrick,
after the surgery, I want him back.
You know, to Gundo's point, look at Chelsea. They lost Zakaria and Chilwell in a dead rubber.
No way. Right. Did Zakaria get injured after he scored yesterday? And he
came off injured.
Zakaria or Chilwell?
Both. Zakaria was injured and Chilwell.
Wow, no way. Really? Because he was playing very good yesterday.
Yeah, so look at that. So, and that's the last thing that you want. A game that means nothing. You've already won the group. You put one of your key players and they get injured. Then now you're gonna go into key games without these players. So I was actually impressed with Pep when I saw the lineup, right? Because normally the Pep we know, he would have thrown in Gundogan, Rodri, and all the guys for some game time. But although he sacrificed Palmer for Mahrez, for Mahrez having a better game, but he gave the kids a start, especially the fullbacks. Because I was expecting to see maybe another Stones at right back, And I was like, okay, this might be another long watch. But no, Pep for once. Plus, what makes this better, the fact that it's a home game and you have your academy lads starting, man, that's priceless.
It is amazing, man. It is amazing. Like I was impressed that it did. But Lewis, man, I hope he continues because this is the few times we've seen him. He's been impressive. Yesterday they tried to attack him also, don't smoke, but he was very
Ooh.
aggressive in defense and they failed. And then they decided to just go to the left. So they actually left him alone. They're like, you know what,
Funny
this
enough,
kid is like,
he may be a better defender than Cancelo, man. Because they tried, right? If you saw everything, all the attacks came from the other side, right? They just made peace with Rico's side, like, no, you know
no,
what? Let them
yeah,
have
they
it.
tried. Yes, they tried. They tried
And we're
balls
like,
over
go
the
the other
top,
side.
and he, yeah, there's a few balls over the top at the Rico's side, and he got to them. He got to the balls. But what impressed me the most is when Teres, Teres, the ex-Man United player, was
Yeah,
on loan at Sevilla. When they all ganged on him, Carl, the way he dribbled past them and sat them down, and
right.
then they had to drop him to the floor. Like it's the confidence on that kid. And you know what's
Yep.
amazing, Carl? It's the fact
Yep.
that he takes the ball, don't smoke, goes to the
Mm.
byline, and instead of just crossing, he beats his man and
See,
crosses.
that's Patrick is what Mahrez needs to do more of. What Rico did yesterday is what Mahrez needs to do more of. Beat your man. Don't check back into the midfield. Beat your man. Go around him. But he'll check back in. Where are you going to? You're shirking responsibility to give the ball to somebody else. Well, you can take the man one-on-one. Is your right foot not working? Can you not run around? Take on the man. That's the whole idea. That's what frustrates me. That he's going in again as he normally does. Run around the guy. As much as my issue with Raheem Sterling, but Raheem Sterling will at least try and take you on that right side. Man for man will take you on. That's how we got the goal against against Aston Villa in the last day of the last season, right? He took the guy on, crossed the ball. That's what he needs to do, Patrick. You're on mute.
Still on mute.
You're still
My
muted.
bad.
There we go.
I was. The thing is, I'm about to do another stream after this. I want to talk about Juventus, Liverpool, and Barcelona in my other channel. So I was setting up the stream. So sorry, that's why I muted myself. So guys, when I'm done here, I'm jumping on to football and chills. Just to speak on Juventus, Barcelona, how they did in the Champions League, what's happening to them, especially Juventus. It's very embarrassing to see that they're just losing a team that used to be big. I don't know if the two guys will join me, but I've already sent a link to our WhatsApp group. So, guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Pitch Points, follow Don't Smoke on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to True City Fan, like the vid, guys. Till next time, guys, that is goodbye from us, and we're going to see you when we do the preview for the Fulham game. Haaland is back. Phillips is going to be on the bench in the next match. Akanji is back. The only one who's out is Walker. Lewis is shining. I hope things are well for our academy and we continue winning.